hell? That was so much worse than Bambi. And then I watched the scene where Bambi's mom gets killed, and I'm like, damn, okay, that's worse.
Hey, it's your guy Ren. Welcome to Cinema Slime, the podcast for film lovers who can't stop talking about the movies that move us, confuse us, or just make us want to yell at the screen. I'm joined, as always, by my brilliant co-hosts Harrison and Scott. Let's go.
I didn't know this, but there's one thing we need to mention about The Ring. Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for that. And it's like the least Hans Zimmer sounding soundtrack I've ever heard.
I did not pay attention to the soundtrack at all in that movie.
Yeah.
The only thing
it's like tones.
The only thing I remembered was like
Yeah.
Metroid.
Yeah, the Super Metroid sample. That's literally all I think about too. Yeah, this is the one sound you can think of. I can't think of another sound in that whole movie.
I was watching on the other side of the room on my phone, and it was like that really high pitched like noise, and Paige is like, "Is that the Ring?" And I looked up and I was like,
Dude, that is part of the genius about that movie, because whenever you see a static television, like that's what you think of.
Yeah.
They like taps into this like just weird, eerie thing that people our age remember.
Yeah, I really think that movie came out at just the perfect moment, you know?
Peak technology, peak analog digital technology crossover.
Mm-hmm. And what was to come was
the social media.
That's it. Well, I was thinking more was that before or after? It was around the same time, but Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, very similar.
And then like Paranormal Encounters. And then there was another one where the whole movie is like someone's webcam in their room.
Oh, I never saw that. No, I don't remember.
I can't remember the name of it. I saw it in the theater and it was pretty scary. But well, this segues into something I wanted to bring up. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about?
I was gonna go over my childhood trauma movies at one point, because I never actually got to explain it. And I could defend myself against your guys' crappy reasoning that you gave my movies.
Okay. Put a pin on that. I just want to have an open discussion. I need some feedback from each of you. Harrison, you can go first, but what did you think about Time Travel Month?
Let's see. About Time was incredible. Safety Not Guaranteed didn't count.
Do you literally put that in your mind as like didn't count?
No, seriously. Like if I go onto a Reddit thread and someone suggests that in a time travel category, I'm like, what are you doing here? Get to the rom-com area. Let's move on. Quantum Cowboys, I thought was great. I enjoyed watching that one. And the fourth one, oh boy, Frequency. Amazing. Yeah. I would say this. I think the time travel movies we picked, I think half of them were very light on the time travel aspect of it. I would say time travel is the one theme we've done so far that I'm like, I kind of want to take another bite at the apple sometime soon and do it again.
I was thinking that also. Not next month, but soon-ish.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Yeah. No, I think we can take another bite at that one and hit some more kind of heavier ones. I think we could hit kind of the more heavier movies that are more focused in on the actual time travel of the thing. The time travel could be the main character of the film.
But here's my argument for that, because through this not very strict time rule of just it has to have some sort of time element in it, we did discover about time. I mean, I did anyways. There's no excuse for Safety Not Guaranteed, but like, you know, it's like I said, you gotta dig through the coal to find the diamond, and like, you really gotta search for things. So I see what you mean, but yeah, like in hindsight, I thought it was gonna be like Looper, like Galaxy Quest, Tenet. Mm-hmm. I thought we were gonna get like the time traveler's wife and just like the bare bones, like 101 of time travel, I guess. But
well, I think it speaks volumes to the fact that 2 out of the 4 movies we did were my picks. So,
I think for me, like I also agree. Like, I think time travel is a really interesting rabbit hole to go down. Obviously, that's like why I put it on my list in the first place. But I think I was surprised at like the breadth of time travel that I had never paid attention to. Like, we definitely watched movies that I don't think we would have picked otherwise. And I think it was the first category that was like, all of our other categories were like, they weren't mechanically focused or whatever. You know, it was like, you know, small town is broad enough that then it was like, let's find an interesting movie in small town. You know, that kind of feeling. and even childhood trauma. It was like, what are movies that are interesting that scared me or whatever, or whatever as we look at this movie. I'm waiting for you to defend yourself.
I love it. I love that we have this personal experience with some of these. It's awesome.
So I kind of want to be like, okay, when I put movies on upcoming lists, I want to make sure that every single movie is like, if my least favorite movies on every one of our lists get picked, would I still be okay with that month? And I kind of want to pick like maybe 3 movies instead of 5 or something like, like if I really, really want to do specific movies, like I have this compulsion to fill up 5 because I have so many movies I love and I want to share with you guys. But then when I'm like, I don't know, so to be clear, like this month, I'm happy with all the movies that came up, and I don't even dislike last month's movies. I'm glad we watched all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we talked about all of them the way we did and everything. But golly, like it would still be cool to go back and just do let's do some meteor ones, not meteor.
Meteor. Oh yeah.
Something like that, and to talk about time travel rather than I don't know, So then it makes me wonder, if we do cinematography or something like that, will that be too narrow of a category?
You just tell me where to sign.
I don't know,
You just tell me where to sign, bub. Right on my ass after you kiss it.
Up my butt around the corner.
No, so I actually, to piggyback what you said, Scott, I think, picking 5 movies for each category, probably about the 5th one is where I'm like, okay, let me Google, let me find suggestions, things like that. So I don't know if we do want to narrow it down to 3 so we can kind of be a little more hyper focused on it, or if we want to spend a little more time researching each movie. Because let's face it, I could have researched Safety Not Guaranteed, and we could have, totally passed over that turd burger.
The question is, would you have known to go into Google and say, is Safety Not Guaranteed actually a time travel movie? Would that, I mean, what?
I know. No, I totally get you there. It's tough because, like you said, time travel is a little more of a mechanical thing. It's not really like a vibe, it's not really a feeling or a personal experience that we've gone through, things like that. It's like, okay, does it involve this? And then we want to kind of avoid spoiling ourselves, especially if it's a movie we've never seen before. So it's tricky. I wouldn't say, I'd say we could try out doing three movies a category, or maybe even 4, and maybe that'll just help us focus in a little bit more and kind of get to the good stuff first before we start getting into the little niche stuff. Yeah, or like me personally, one of my personal kind of rules I'm doing whenever we make these lists is I'm always trying to put an animated movie in one of my 5s because I really want to explore that just a little bit more. And I feel like it feels like, it's like there's live action and there's animated, like they're 2 totally separate things in my head, at least in terms of categories. And I just haven't explored the animated side of things. So that's kind of my goal, is to put either at least 2 animated films on all of my lists and see where it ends up.
Nice.
Hawkins asked me very aggressively yesterday. I said, yeah, I'm going to go record a Cinema Slime episode tomorrow. And he was like, how come you guys haven't done Fantastic Mr. Fox yet? And I was like, whoa. Sorry.
Who said that?
Hawkins. Yeah.
So the other day, I had my Cinema Slime shirt on, and I was like, hey, Hawkins, you like my shirt? And he goes, how did you get that if your show isn't even popular yet?
Ooh.
And I was like, oh. Yeah, well, one day.
One day, I swear.
We're not fooling this
Nothing like
kid.
the pure biting honesty of my oldest.
Dude. Man, okay. I had experience with that. I'm at home, I'm playing Overwatch, and my cousin on Nicole's side is over. And I'm sitting there playing the game, and I die, and he goes, wow, you're not really good at this, are you? And I was like, well, it's like, that's just kind of part of the game. Like, you die, you respawn, you go back in. He's like, okay, well, try again, I guess. So I start playing, I die again, and he's like, man, what can you do to be better? And I was just like, well, I could change my character. And he's like, okay, well, be that character, they look better. So I swap, and then I die, and he goes, wow, you're really bad. I was just like, I'm gonna
brutally
kick your
honest.
ass.
Get out of here.
You punk kid, you don't even know, man.
Maybe if I was born as cool as you, I wouldn't die as much. How about you try?
She's like, not every game is Braid, all right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of video games, quick little icebreaker question. When you guys play a video game, do you prefer playing a game where you are an actual character, or do you prefer playing games where you are the character, or you get to create your own character? Because I was talking with Cameron about this at work today, and I kind of had a revelation as to why I personally prefer playing a video game where I am a character rather than creating one, or it's from the perspective of like, oh, I'm just a faceless character in the game.
I've never thought about this question.
I have way too much.
Way
But
too much.
Really?
Yeah, like I mean, I've got. Yeah, now's not the time. This is
Pandora's box.
This is definitely World According to Scott game design, like 3-hour philosophical.
well, here, I'll give you my quick blurb that I realized. I highly prefer playing games where I'm an actual character and I don't have to create a character, or like I'm playing a game called Star Wars Squadron right now where you're kind of this like faceless character, and they like, you don't have a name, you're not anything, you're supposed to be like, oh, I'm like immersed in the world and I am the character. And I find those kind of dull because when I play a game where I have to create it or I am them, I'm just like, well, I already know who I am and I'm not that interesting. But when I play a game and I am a character, like if I'm playing like Witcher 3 and I am Geralt, it's interesting to watch it and be like, well, I want to know like who this guy is and like what are his motivations and what's driving him to do X, Y, and Z. It makes the story in the game just way more interesting to me.
Yeah, I like to customize my character on Tony Hawk, but
there you go.
That's about
it. The hill that I will die on, I'm similar to you, Harrison, but probably a little more extreme. The hill I'll die on forever is the worst game I've ever played is Skyrim. I hate it.
I hear people talk about that all the time.
I've tried to like that game so much, and I just cannot like it. I've tried so much. It's my Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I respect that. I totally get it.
I honestly fully understand that. I do enjoy Skyrim at times. So it's my number one game on my Steam account with the most hours I have, and about 60% of those hours is me just modding the game and trying to make it more fun. So I do appreciate the game, and every now and then I get a little kick for it, and I go on and I play for like a month or so, and then I'm like, all right, back in the vault. I'll see you another time.
I have a short story about my life leading up to today's recording, and it'll lead into our episode actually.
I'm excited.
So we planned to record at 6. It was like 3:30. I love to go to the skate park, especially with my son Cash. And just before like an episode or some sort of exercise, if it's not that, I'll go for a jog or whatever, clear my head. So I'm like looking at some of my notes for The Fox and the Hound, which is hilarious in and of itself. And then we go to the skate park and we're warming up. Randomly, my son Cash is like, I don't think I'm going to skate today. I'm just going to bring my bike. And right away I was like, okay. Because he's not as skilled on a bike as he is on a skateboard, I would say. So it's kind of a new hobby for him. So we're riding around, and then he's been able to, like, he'll pick up some speed and drop into this transition on his bike, which I've never done. It looks kind of scary, but he was doing that. And then this other local kid comes over, and he's like, whoa, dude, that was cool. How do you do that? And right away, I get, like, red flags in my head. I'm like, this is going to, like, knock off his focus. And he goes, oh, it's pretty easy. And he gets on his bike and he's like, yeah, so you just run, and what you want to do is hold the handles. And he was going at like a snail's pace, and you have to have speed or else your wheel just buckles and you fall forward. And that's exactly what happened. Dude, he bounced on the concrete. And he's like, oh, like he can't breathe. He knocked the wind out of him. And I turn him over and he's bleeding all down his chin. Wrist is bleeding on both sides. His knee, he's got there's like a bolt on the side of his bike imprinted into his leg. And he's like tripping out. He's like, I'm gonna puke. I'm like, dude, just breathe. I was like, just lay down. And I like tapped his chest, slowed him down. He caught his breath, and I checked his eyes. His pupils were dilated. And the kid felt so bad because he was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to make him fall. And he's like, I'll walk your bike. And anyways, we come home and we stop by to see Grammys. Our moms are nurses. So they got the gauze pad, cleaned them all up, wiped up all the blood, doesn't need stitches. And we got here on time, and here we are to record The Fox and the Hound. And I've had all of the time to think about this movie. So I'm ready to go when you guys are, but glad my boy is safe and sound, and He's downstairs. He's laying on the couch with sunglasses on, so that's good.
That's the sign of I'm in recovery right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Walt Disney Pictures presents two special friends, Todd
I'm a fox.
and Copper.
I'm a hound.
Two friends playing together.
1, 2, and
Two friends who don't know they're supposed to be enemies.
oh dear! Run, Dad, run!
It's one of Disney's most wonderful adventures, and you can only see it at a theater near you.
You better believe it.
It's The Fox and the Hound. Rated G. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
So, Harry, this is your movie. This is your childhood trauma in comparison to actually traumatic scary movies. So, this is a great time to defend yourself and convince us why we watched this bittersweet movie.
I will say this. I like how Ren said it. This is childhood trauma with a lowercase t. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. Let's be clear. We don't want anyone mad at us.
Pretty much. So actually, real quick, I want to go through the movies that I actually put on my list real quick, and then I'll do Fox and the Hound.
All right, defend yourself. The floor is yours.
So Batman Returns. I'll talk about that when we get to it.
Okay.
The Mummy. The two scenes. Actually, you got that one right, Scott. The cockroaches crawling under the skin, but the one that really got me.
The scarabs. They're scarabs.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Sorry.
The one that really got me was when they took the guy's eyes out and he was walking around without his tongue and his eyes, and that was so uncomfortable for me as a child. I just didn't like. It was like, wait, what? You could lose your eyes? Like, what do you even do? Like, what's the point of living? Like, like things like that. Just, however old I was, I don't even know. I always say 8 years old when I don't know how old I was when I was a kid. I was like, I don't know. I was probably 8. Like, it's the number I always throw out. What was it? Then there's Fox and the Hound. Brave Little Toaster is freaking terrifying, guys. You don't remember the clown and the fire, and then the scene where the vacuum cleaner tries to like suck up his own cord and like commit suicide? Like, it's terrifying.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Oh no, no, Brave Little Toaster is a dark movie. Like, it really is.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna put it out there. But yeah, no, it's a terrifying film. Like, there's some scary stuff in it. And then what was the other one that I had? Oh, All Dogs Go to Heaven. You don't remember the ending scene when they're in like hell? Like, and then,
I don't remember that.
It's scary. And then of course the big giant alligator whose mouth and lips move way too much. Like, it just.
So out of all of the movies, I actually have never seen Brave Little Toaster, and I've never seen All Dogs Go to Heaven.
No, honestly, I'm gonna probably find a way to get Brave Little Toaster on it, because like, look, there's kid movies that traumatize you and make you like, whoa, that, you watch some movies and you're like, really, kids watch that? Brave Little Toaster is like, what the hell? Like, you kind of want to talk to the writer and be like, what was going on in your head? Like, this is not even close to a children's film. Like, at least from what I remember. I haven't seen it in a long time, but from what I remember, it was pretty terrifying.
Random memory. I remember watching this at my Nana's house, but do you remember this, Harrison? The Raggedy Ann and Andy, A Musical Adventure?
Yes, I remember it. I know what it looks like. I couldn't tell you anything about it, though.
Yeah, me either. Okay, I just want to make sure someone else remembers that.
Yeah, just stick it.
That will not ever go on a list.
But no, I would say this. Out of all the themes we've done, I think this one was actually the hardest for me to figure out what movies to put on the list. I grew up very with the idea of, honestly, like, I feel like I was a very goody two-shoe kid growing up. Like, I was following the rules. I was making sure I was doing the right things.
Confirmed.
Like, I think I've told you guys this story, but like, I walked all the way to this Blockbuster, wanted to buy a movie, and I didn't know if I could buy it. I didn't know if it was okay for me to buy it. So I walked all the way home, asked my mom, and then walked all the way back out to go buy it. Like, actually, here, even to emphasize this, I woke up, I was like 15 or something. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I was just like so hungry and I wanted some donuts. And there was a grocery store not too far away from our house at the time that they had like Dale donuts or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk over to the grocery store and get some Dale donuts. And I walked downstairs, and before I walked out the door, I thought, wait a minute, what if mom and dad wake up and see me, I'm not in bed? So I wrote a note like, hey, I'm sneaking out to go buy donuts. And I taped it onto the door.
You can't even rebel right.
No, it's so true. No, honestly. But yeah, no, I was just a goody two-shoe kid. I really didn't watch I didn't watch like inappropriate movies or kid inappropriate movies growing up. So I just kind of stumbled upon a couple that are ones that are on my list basically. And I just don't have a very big pool of movies to pull from when it came to childhood trauma, unlike you guys.
Pre-internet, it's hard to get the good stuff, man.
But moving into Fox and the Hound, so I would say most of the movies on my list and most of the movies that hit me really hard are more like an emotional thing. It usually wasn't I watched it, it was scary, blah blah blah. This was a movie I remember watching. Sometimes I really wonder what was the first movie I ever watched in my entire life. But I almost feel like Fox and the Hound is one of those movies I watched, one of the first like 20 movies I ever saw growing up. And I just had a memory of watching it and just being kind of confused and unsure. I'm just like, wait, why can't Todd and Copper be friends? Like, why can't they hang out? Why is all this happening? And the scene where she has to drop him off at that nature preserve and she's reading that poem on the way to drop him off was just the most gut-wrenching thing I ever experienced as a kid. Because I just couldn't comprehend why these two people can't be friends. Like, what's stopping this from happening? It's just this angry neighbor that's doing it. Like, why would that stop? The power of friendship, it shouldn't do that. And even as a little kid, I just didn't get it. And it really like made me just question a lot of things. And I wouldn't be shocked if I had some really, really bad separation anxiety when I was a kid. And I would steal my parents' keys when we would go to church. I'd be like, give me your keys. And I kept them in my pockets so that it was like, you cannot leave me. It's impossible for you to leave me because I have the keys to the car. And I wouldn't be shocked. Like when I watched this movie the other day, I was just like, I wouldn't be shocked if this planted a seed in my head as to why I had so much trauma about being left behind.
That's a good point. I was thinking about something similar, but like when you're going through that like awkward stage where like, let's say like your best friend and you hang out all the time and you're getting in trouble, you're riding your bikes, playing in the swamp or whatever. And then like you find out that your friend's leaving for a week for like camping. You're like, well, what about me? And you like get jealous of this experience that your friend is having without you. He's probably growing up, maybe meeting a girl for once. And like, there's this time in your life where like this movie taps into that feeling of like developmental FOMO kind of. That's one thing that stuck out to me. That was a thought I had while watching this one.
And I would, so I love abstracting that a little bit because Harrison, your experience is super, super on point, very personal. And I want to go one step further. Like I was watching this and I was like, yeah, everyone's lost a friend or everyone's had a breakup or whatever. And it's like it doesn't really matter the details. It's the like your heart can't deal. That's hard. And then like I feel like this movie really captures the feel of like it almost doesn't matter what the scenario of the movie was. They just kind of like picked one, and like made it make sense. So they're like, okay, I can rationalize that. But the heartbreak of like just losing a thing and you're not educated,
Yeah. Elimination, lack of education.
That's right. my kids haven't gone through that yet. They're not old enough to have like a heartbreak like this big before. But I'm like, I wonder if I'll be like Big Mama. I'll be like, hey, everybody goes through this and this sucks, but like you'll move on, or whatever.
No, honestly, it's interesting. You're watching it and my thought process going through it was like, this is so weird. Like they can't be friends just because of who they are. Like you're a hunting dog. You can't be friends with a fox. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the situation is. And actually, I was kind of shocked. I totally forgot that Big Mama really kind of pushes that as like, no, like he's a hunting dog. You're a fox. He kills people like you. And it was really weird because she's like a parental figure to him, and you think of her as the sweet mama who took care of him, seconds after his mom died. And it was really interesting to be like, oh, like this mindset, she has this mindset in her head, like that. I don't know, like in my head, like it was negative to me, him telling him that. I'm like, no, that's a negative thing. Like you shouldn't say that to him. This friendship should be able to flourish. And they should be able to hang out and not have this instinct to kill each other, So yeah, that just kind of threw me for a loop that she said that.
I remember watching this kid, or not super as a kid. I was probably an older kid. I think I've only ever seen it once, other than watching it for this podcast. My memories of this is is like, so this is just a story of like a 90s hippie Democrat lady not being able to be friends with like a Republican hunter guy. Like
yeah.
like and so
Yeah.
when I went into watching this movie, I was like, oh man, is this gonna be just like, like an 80s agenda politics movie or whatever? And I was really pleased to find that it really wasn't. Like it really didn't have as much of that vibe as I remembered, Like it's almost funny watching the lady and Amos. I can't remember her name. Does she even have it?
It's a Tweed, yeah, Widow Tweed.
Tweed and Amos Slade. Like
what a name.
they treat each other like a bickering old married couple, and it was almost like endearing in the like they're stuck next to each other. She's got her cute little garden and he's got his like rundown hunting shack, but they're like kind of need each other. Like at the end, she's like taping up his foot. And he's like, oh, you're hurting me. She's like, oh, yeah, whatever. I might hurt you more. You're fine. And I was like, this is almost adorable,
It was really interesting. In my head, my childhood memories of this was, oh, Amos is the bad guy. Like him and Chief, they're always causing trouble. And they're, the guys that, there's a negative view on them. But honestly, watching it now, I was like, honestly, they're fine for most of the time until, the conflict happens. Like,
until he goes into the preserve and he's like breaking the law and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and then he tries to shoot, Tweed's, car. But other than that, but like when he drives up and he's got Copper and he introduces him to Chief, you're just like, oh, like this is nice, this is great. And then they go on the hunting trip. This was one thing that was interesting to me. For some reason, I thought there was going to be like kind of this negative view of hunting. And like, oh, like, he's trying to kill Bambi's mom, like all this stuff. I was watching it. I was just like, this is great. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. Like, it's just the way life is. And like, some people love to hunt, and I don't know. I was just expecting more of a negative view on it, but it was pretty positive until the revenge plot line kind of kicked in and been like, ooh, Amos, no, you can't do that.
Before we get to like the third act and the ending, I want to take a second to talk about a few scenes. You just mentioned some ones that like are some tear jerkers, but I want to pay attention to the opening scene.
Oh man,
dude, I freaking loved it. I love the font, no music, and then all you hear is like the wind rustling through the forest, still like little animal sounds for the bird chirping, and then all of a sudden you hear that slow beating drum, dong, dong, and it kind of just builds up. And then the coolest part for me, you see the spider web, it like zooms out of focus, goes through, and then boom, the mom fox appears, and you're just off to the races. And there's this frantic music and like that old, is it like big band or like noir, like type of orchestra music?
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack. Like every song, I mean, not the sing-along songs, but I like all the orchestrated music in this movie.
I think the unsung hero of this whole movie is the harmonica player throughout the whole movie. Like there's many good scenes, and it's got this like country, slow, peaceful like jive going on.
Yep.
No, I definitely picked up on the music just being really, really beautiful. Love the spider web. I love how sloppy the snow looked when it like fell off the tree. I really like that vibe.
One thing too in the beginning, but when it starts, shows the fox running, escaping from the hunters in the distance, but in the background you see the bridge kind of foreshadowing later, and then it just gives you like the atmosphere, the wide open spaces, how much nature there is, the one or two human homes around the area, and it just kind of sets the scene really well.
I really want to call out how beautiful the backgrounds are painted. Yeah. Like every single one of these backgrounds is just this beautiful, like painterly masterpiece with these like cel drawn, like animations on top of it. It's this really interesting transition from almost like old school Disney, like Aristocats and Jungle Book kind of era into the like Rescuers Down Under era, you know?
Some Sword in the Stone too. I felt that a little bit.
So there's like 2 or 3 background painters, you know, listed. I was like, man, like I feel like they really carried the atmosphere. The music and the backgrounds really carried the atmosphere of this movie. And I was really pleased to see Glenn Keane is one of the animators on this movie, and Don Bluth and Glenn Keane are the 2 Disney animators I know anything about.
Our guy Don.
So like Glenn,
Don.
so I don't know how early in his career this movie is, but I feel like this movie was kind of like a start for a new generation of Disney animators. I know that Keane he became like the lead animator, and he was directed a lot of animation for some of the later films. For example, that massive eagle in Rescuers Down Under, that was like, he animated that bird. Like that bird is amazing because of Glenn Keane. And now he's like, he did Disney for a really long time, and recently he spun off and opened up his own animation studio. So like Trash Truck on Disney or on Netflix is his movie. Over the Moon, that Chinese movie, about mooncakes. You know, that was from Glenn Keane's studio. Like, so he's like really carried on and carried on this legacy of really good animation, and like really embodied it in this time period. So anyway, I just, this movie's got a lot of great people working on it, and I think it really shows. There's a lot of love in this movie.
So interesting thing about this film. So there's all these different kind of eras in Disney that people have kind of collected movies into. There's like the Golden Age, the Bronze Age, the Renaissance Age. This movie is actually the first movie in what's called the Dark Ages, which sounds way more serious than it really is. This movie was actually delayed by quite a bit because this is the movie that Don Bluth actually left and started his own studio. And a lot of talent left Disney at that time, and there was kind of this injection of new people coming in, and you know, different animators, different story writers, things like that. And like what is that? I wrote down a list of the movies that kind of came out sort of in this, you know, the dark era, as they call it. It's so yeah, you got Fox and the Hound, The Black Cauldron came out after this one, The Great Mouse Detective, and Oliver and Company. And I don't know, to me,
that is dark.
To me, all of those movies are all underrated gems. Except I haven't seen Black Cauldron, but the other ones
I freaking love The Great Mouse Detective. That is in like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I love that movie.
I didn't know that. It's a good one.
It is a really good one.
Yeah.
It's on my animation list, by the way.
Yeah.
It's already there. I'm waiting for animation to come up, and it's on that list.
No, yeah, that ending scene when he like goes all rat, it's just so cool.
Yeah.
Like just that crazy look in his face. It's amazing.
So off of what you were talking about, the way I read it or interpreted it, but like there was a lot of creative differences when it came to like how they wanted the story to go and unfold in this movie. And part of the indifference that was created led to Don Bluth and like 14 other animators like putting in their resignation.
Wow.
And that's why it came out. It was supposed to come out like Christmas, and it came out like summer the next year.
Wow.
And yeah, like you said, total turning point in the animation studios for Disney. And like they had all this young talent, and they were just like, well, you're going to the forefront now. And honestly, like knowing that while watching this, I feel like there are like A and B types of animation or quality like scenes in this movie. One of the main riffs that they had behind the scenes was the whole decision around Chief either breaking his leg
or
and
dying.
living or dying, because in the book he dies, and they just kept batting their heads and back and forth. They're like, he has to die, and they're like, well, Disney's never had a main character die. We're not going to do it now, and that was just part of the rift, and I found that really interesting.
Chief, back in there, I'll break your.
Yep.
The decision to not have him die, like it's, to me, it's not like it's part of the book or whatever, but it's like, no, it just makes so much more sense. It really drives this revenge story that comes in the last half of the movie. And with him just having his leg broken, you're kind of like, I feel like this is a slight overreaction. Like it just doesn't flow right.
It would make the revenge greater, and it would also make the impact of the forgiveness that much more powerful.
Yeah.
And also, if you know, like Chief falls, I guess in the like post-production, they had to animate Chief's eyes like flickering open to let the audience know he wasn't dead. They had added that in later. But like there's a part where Copper looks up and he's looking at Todd and he's like, I'm gonna get you, and Todd just stares at him. I'm like, why don't you just say, I didn't mean to do that, or the train hit him? Like, defend yourself. He just stands there and doesn't say a word. That looks really, really guilty when you do that stuff. But anyways,
So guys,
my nitpick.
I have something to confess.
Ooh, here we go.
I am like halfway through reading the book right now.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
Nice. I like
Dude.
that. Deep dive.
I was gonna do a quick summary of the book. But I
Me
don't
too.
wanna ruin it for
I was
you.
like, no, I don't know if I want to.
So-
I need to finish it.
So let me be super clear. This is not a friendship story.
Yeah.
Oh,
The book?
no.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
book is incredibly good. And Richard P. Mannix that wrote it,
Mhm.
he has a really cool story, and it does inform this movie. So I want to keep the discussion mostly about the movie because the movie is a unique piece of art in and of itself.
Mhm.
The elements that they were fighting over and stuff, like I love that I just learned about the Don Bluth and them like leaving over the creative decisions of this movie. So the original material is like, it's like from the perspective of Copper and Todd. And Copper is a grown-up dog. He's a really, really, really well-trained hound dog. Todd is this brand new kit. His opening scene, chapter 2, is his mom getting ripped to shreds by a bunch of hound dogs. The hunter taking him, he's the last of the kits alive. The hunter, it's an unnamed hunter, not the main hunter, takes him and raises him in his house. And then he just plays with he's just got like a couple of dogs and he's got a fox. And he just like raises this fox at home. And he gets along and he loves his master. The master loves him. And the author Mannix uses this as a way to basically show the habits of how foxes work and how their brains go. So you like see him like, it's like, oh, well, he just like mimics patterns. And if one thing works to escape once, he does that over and over and over, stuff like that. So it like really gets inside the head of a fox and how foxes think, not what they think, but how they think. And that's what makes this book super, super unique to read. So the fox eventually, just gets more and more freedom and eventually just leaves home and just goes and calls, like sets up a like round that he goes out in the wild and stuff like that. So one of the things that foxes do, and this is something that Mannix saw, was that they will like develop this safety mechanism and they'll use it to trick their predators that are chasing them. And one of them that he saw was there was this train track that foxes would lure the hunting dogs onto the tracks to get them hit by trains. And there were so many dogs killed by this train that the hunter had to stop hunting in that area because the fox was too crafty. And so that's where the like plot device with Chief came around. And in the book, it's like chapter 3 or something like that. It's from the perspective of Copper chasing Todd around, and he chases him like all night long, and it's like super detailed, in depth and stuff. Then Chief gets killed by a train, like right off early, and then the master has this revenge story, and so that basically kicks off the rest of the story of like why he's hunting him. Another really interesting thing is chapter 1 introduces the bear, and then the next chapter with the hound in it, so I think it's chapter 3, is them hunting down the bear and killing the bear. And in the process, like Copper's the main alpha dog, but Chief is the uppity, like this like alpha, like wants to also be the alpha dog and be the favorite of the master or whatever. And Chief, so they like get there, they're like really expertly tracking down this bear. They surround him and there's like keeping him in place so that the hunter can come in with the big guns. The hunter gets there, and then the bear like breaks loose and just like absolutely like jumps on the master and like crushes him and stuff. And Chief goes in and just like rips the bear's testicles, and the bear roars and gets off of him. And then they kill the bear. And like Copper is like, wow, the master's safe or whatever. That's great. And then the master walks by, and instead of like giving Copper loves and good lucks and all that kind of stuff, he goes to Chief and he's like, heartbroken that like, oh no, Chief's the new favorite. I'm not the lead dog anymore. And then after that, Chief dies. So it's like the bear gets saved by Chief, then Chief gets killed by the train, and so it's this revenge story of using Copper to basically get revenge on this crafty fox for multiple years. And he doesn't get him. I don't know how the book ends because I haven't read any summaries. I want to like not be
All right, I won't spoil it for you.
But like anyway, it's a really intense survival book going back and forth between the heads of these two characters. And it's like inside a fox's head running away and inside of a hound dog expertly tracking down a fox. It's fascinating.
Listen, I'm excited for next episode, or when you finish it, for you to be like, what the hell?
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I've heard that it's really, really dark. That's all I know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wanted to point out, this movie's great. It's not perfect, but there are some really magical scenes. Like when they're playing hide and seek, that formative like kid place, dude. That is
when
like
they're the best of friends.
Freaking awesome. You mentioned the long drive with Todd in the car, and he's just totally oblivious to his exit because
I thought that scene was at the end of the movie. It is not. It's like the middle of
that
the
leads to Act 3. Like that's yeah.
Yeah, no, it's his obliviousness that really messed me up. As a kid.
I know. Yep, that is. Yeah, you just feel so bad for. But it's really cool because I was just dissecting it as an adult. But I'm like, it's really cool. She doesn't say a word in person. It's all dialogue in her head, and she's like replaying these messages and these good times, and like it's a tearjerker.
Like,
yeah, he's just like, wow, it's so nice out today. And
we're
she's
going
like,
on a drive.
Yeah, and like when her tear drops, I was like, oh man, that's so good. Yeah.
So I'm not a big poetry guy, but she's basically reading a poem about the situation, and that was the first time a bit of poetry ever made me cry. Like I was wrecked watching that scene.
It's really effective.
Oh man,
it's really good.
Very strong. Back to when they were playing as kids, I absolutely love the fact that Copper's sniffing on the ground. He goes into the log, and Todd pokes his head over. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'm looking for something." And there's no like introduction. There's no like, "Hey, what's your name?" Like, "Oh, what do you blah blah blah." It's like, no, we're just two kids, and we're just gonna play for a while, and we're not even gonna worry about anything. We're just gonna have fun. I loved like that innocent, just it felt so real. That's what kids do. They don't. It's just like, wait, we're playing a game. Let's play a game. That's what matters.
So your guys' dad takes pictures a lot, right? And I've seen so many pictures of you guys as kids. And I've seen a lot of home videos of you guys as kids. Harrison, this movie is like you as a child. You are just like the sweetest, cutest little towhead.
You do look like Todd.
And you're just like, I'm here to like everybody loves me. The world is magical. And like you were like the anti-cynical, like the opposite of cynical as a child. And so I can see why this hit you hard. This was like the gut punch.
Yeah, no, this is a very emotional movie for me.
Hey everybody, just popping in real quick. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, that would really help us out a lot. But either way, let's get back to the show.
Okay, quick question, guys, because I had I had an experience during this. Okay, whose death was worse? Todd's mom getting killed or Bambi's mom getting killed?
For me, Bambi.
Having just read Todd's mom getting ripped to shreds in the book, it's probably that one. It's more visceral.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why did Disney? Disney shouldn't have changed that. They should have left that in.
Yeah, right.
The first 1 minute. Yeah.
No, honestly, I watched this movie and she gets killed, and I was like, what the hell? That was so much worse than Bambi. And then I watched the scene where Bambi's mom gets killed, and I'm like, damn, okay, that's worse.
Dude, you like build a relationship with the mom, and then she dies in Bambi. Yeah.
Well, I kind of forgot that mom has a voice. Like I totally completely forgot that she actually has like a voice actress, and like she actually has lines in the movie. And just that, I don't remember to Bambi just for a second, but like just that scene where like she pokes her head up and she's like, Bambi, and she's just like paranoid, and she's like, get to the thicket, and they're just running, and she's just screaming at him, run, you need to run, and then bam. Just, oh man. Yeah, that one hit me hard too.
Does she tell him about the stag father?
Oh, I
Or
I
does
can't.
she
I haven't seen
mention?
Bambi. I haven't
It's
seen
been
Bambi in
so
so
long.
long. Yeah.
Okay, so one time, okay, so my dad had like a bunch of back problems and had several back surgeries. So when I was a little kid, he was like bedridden, recovering a lot from several different back surgeries, and off and on heavy painkillers and stuff. And I distinctly remember him. My dad is a hunter, all right? My dad is a redneck hunter from Alabama. And he's not a soft man externally. And I have this very distinct memory as a kid of him. Oh yeah, this scene with the pheasant running by. I was like, okay, that's the animators just flexing. um, um, but I have this distinct memory of like coming into his room and he's just sitting there on the bed sobbing. And Mom was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" He's like, "Bambi's mom got shot."
Your mom's like, all right, we gotta lower the
Okay.
milligrams on those.
Okay.
On the morphine or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so
Nice.
good. One thing I noticed when I was watching this film, like, it's kind of funny. There's a lot of these kind of little side characters in the film. Like, there's the two birds, and then there's the porcupine and the badger, and all that stuff. And sometimes it felt a little like, okay, what's going on here? But they're kind of like these character archetypes that sort of like mirror what's going on with Todd and Copper. Like the two birds, it's like the two birds versus the caterpillar or whatever
Yeah,
we're trying
the
to
comic
get. You know,
relief.
it's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's almost like a lighter toned, like, this is nature. This is how it works. The birds eat, the birds eat the worm. Like, it's just the way things are, and it's not as serious as opposed to like Todd and Copper. It's like, yes, this is nature. The dog's supposed to hunt the fox, but it's so much more complicated than that. So it was just
Yeah.
kind of this nice little slowly introduction to that. I also kind of like that the porcupine and the badger kind of mirrored Amos and Grandma Tweed. Like, it was just like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
grumpy, angry guy, and then the soft, cuddly porcupine. Or whatever, I don't know how that works, but but I just, yeah, like, I didn't. At first, I was like, I don't know why these characters are here, but like the more I kind of watched it, I was like, it's not terrible. Like, it is a nice little introduction to kind of the nature, type of storyline they're trying to tell.
I want to really quickly insert in there before you continue. Don't lose your thought. That I thought that the amount of comic relief in those side characters, I really appreciated how unimportant they were, because it's really from basically Aladdin on, Robin Williams on. Every single movie has been like, let's bring in a really big, popular, funny cast and just blast it. And that's a great kind of movie, and it's a great kind of comedy. But I liked how this movie was about the story. It wasn't about the plucky, famous side character.
Yeah.
That being said, I love the guy. I could look it up real quick, but the guy who does Tigger's voice is Boomer.
And it's like his only other credit other than Tigger in his entire life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, but to counter him is like the little like Joe Pesci from Goodfellas like character.
I love the way that bird was animated.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Yeah, it is. Flick.
No, I love that archetype. The short smart guy and the tall dumb guy. Like, I really love that kind of opposite kind of character archetype you see all the time.
Try to take over the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of voice actors, I liked the fact that Amos, he's the grandpa in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I thought that was pretty funny when I realized that. That one hit me. I also really like I love this voice actor. I think his name is Bert something. I'll have to look it up. But
Chief's voice.
Chief's voice. He also voices the Sheriff Nottingham and Robin Hood, and I love his voice. It's such a character.
Oh, it's funny. So, like I said, I haven't watched this movie since the first time I watched it forever ago, right? But I turned it on and Bridget came into the room and she's like, "Oh, Fox and the Hound." So she watched it with me and the kids. And Chief showed up and I was like, that guy's voice, like, he hadn't talked yet. I was like, I know what his voice is going to be.
Yeah.
Before he's talked. Like, just the animation style, his gruffness or whatever. I was like, I know what his voice is going to be. His first line, I was like, yep, that's him. That's him.
Yeah. I was tripping how Corey Feldman is young Copper. That tripped me out. That's like
wait, didn't Corey Feldman? He did TMNT, right?
Yep.
Wasn't he in
And
TMNT?
He's Donatello.
yeah, I thought his first movie was like Gremlins, but this was like a few years before Gremlins. So he must have been like
Funny.
5 when he did this voice. I don't know, but
Jeez.
that's cool. And then also Kurt Russell as Copper Adult.
I know.
I didn't know that.
Right?
Yep. Yeah,
Snake
Mickey Rooney is
skin
Todd.
escaping.
Yep.
Pat Buttram, I think is his name, the guy who plays Chief.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Props to him. He is just magical.
And because we didn't mention it, Paul Winchell is Boomer, aka Tigger.
There you go.
But yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, the voices of my childhood.
Yeah. So real quick on the voice acting, Pearl Bailey as the voice of Big Mama, really good, but I found during the singing, I was like, this is legitimately horrible. And then I looked it up and like people love her voice acting in this movie, and she used to be like an opera singer, so maybe I'm going crazy. But there was a few notes she was trying to go for in her first song, and I was like, this is bad, man. Like, but yeah, I'm unpopular opinion.
She is the definitive mom sound.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, honestly, like the music and the songs in this movie didn't bother me too much. I wouldn't say they're
They definitely were not
for
standouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that this scene from Rugrats has always stuck with me for my whole life. There's a scene where they're in like a movie theater or they're watching a movie and they're watching it and then the character starts singing a song and I think it's one of the twins. They go, I hate it when they sing. That's always stuck in my head. And when I was watching this movie and she's singing the song when they meet Vixie, I think is the girl Fox's name. She starts singing that song, and I literally thought that in my head. I was like, why are you singing? I hate it.
Hey, you brought her up, but I think the Twitter-pated scene, the falling in love, this is I was not a fan. I got really bored at that point.
Okay, so I'm gonna be with Harrison on this one. I actually really liked
You
Vixie.
did?
And I think Bambi did it better, but I liked this particular, I liked Vixie as a character and her I liked them laughing at Todd and stuff like that and him getting all butthurt.
He got so butthurt.
I thought it was funny, and the way she prances away and they're objectifying this fox and stuff like that. And then he runs through the river and he's like, I was like,
yeah, because I think they did a really good job of dropping, it's like, Todd, guess what? You're in the woods. You've never interacted with a female, fox before in your whole life.
Also, huge plot point in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love how absolutely dumbfounded he is. Like, I don't know, his face and just the way he acts, you're just like, dude, you're so Twitter-pated so badly that you just can't even think. And he just had that dumb look on his face was just really cool.
Thank you for also both of you using the term Twitter-pated.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Bambi,
a great word.
for putting that into our lexicon.
Okay, we got to talk about this real quick because we talked about some of the creative differences, but one of the huge rifts between all that too was how Don Bluth was accusing Disney of just using stock animations or stock sounds. And there is a ton of that in this movie, but it makes me think of Robin Hood in particular. Mm-hmm. Not only are they foxes, but there's just straight up animation movements that they steal. Some from Robin Hood. There's some from Sword in the Stone. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Jungle
The
Book.
Rescuers, Jungle Book.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when you grow up watching these, you can that looks familiar.
Yep.
I don't know what it is.
Yep.
It's the way that their shoulders move or something. But there's a part where Todd first comes into the forest. He understands nature is much different than living at home in a safe little house. And he's in that foxhole and he gets poked, or sorry, not the foxhole, the tree hole. And he gets poked by the porcupine. And there's a moment where his animation style completely changes. I forget that it's anamorphic sort of. He basically clutches against the wall and then he falls out of the hole and then he lands on his back like he's a human.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so inconsistent. There's parts where I think they fell into that stock footage instead of making him move like a fox.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I actually distinctly remember the moment when the porcupine pokes him and he wakes up and he's just even his voice and that whole line was just whoa. That's not I didn't see that coming at all. You're right. You're right. He sounded more like a human. Sorry, there's a huge hailstorm happening over my house right now.
Oh,
I
really?
don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Coming our way,
I don't know
bro.
if that's heading
Yeah,
your
it's not
guys'
here
way.
yet.
But
Not
yeah,
here
it'll
yet.
get there. Because wow, that is my cats are like wigging out right now. Anyways.
I feel like everything leading up to the forest is where Don Bluth was involved, and then after the forest, he wasn't. And there's no way to really know. But I know for sure there was one scene. Okay, this part also when he's like trying to catch the fish inside the log. I'm pretty sure that's from another movie. Oh, I heard that.
Dude, whoa.
Dude, you're right in the middle of that storm.
Dude, that was
Nice.
Thunderstorm
okay.
tonight. Glad I rolled up the windows.
Yeah. I forget what I was saying, but yeah, there's just little particular things about the animation. I'm like, I could put myself in their shoes and be like, dude, we're artists. We're not like copying and pasting.
And then, okay, so yeah, like I've worked on very expensive projects as a game designer, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes it's like the thing just needs to get done and you got to cut corners. And to be clear, I worked in game design and as a producer. So I had to like simultaneously put on my art hat and be like, this is what will make it good, and go, you know what? It doesn't matter. We have to get it across the finish line. So we're going to like rip it out.
Yeah.
And that's a sucky place to be when you're trying to make something that has depth and meaning and stuff like that. And that's the constant tension between art and selling art.
Mm-hmm. I could just feel like the frustration in that because like when you like what the book you're reading, it's brutal.
It's brutal.
And then there's parts of you that you want to like push the envelope. And actually, I didn't have time to look this up. I guess I could right now, but there's a part where during the bear fight scene, which we'll talk more when Harrison gets back, but the shotgun gets blasted and it barely grazed the shoulder of the bear and it shows a little bit of red. And I was like, that might have been the first blood in any Disney movie. So to go from a little bit of blood to Chief dying, obviously they're not going to include Mother Fox getting ripped to shreds. But I think I'm just like
the lightning.
Oh, you saw some?
Yeah.
It's coming our way. It's rolling. But yeah, I guess I really want to see the unrated version of this movie with Don Bluth intact. Like if they just gave Don Bluth what he wanted, Disney probably wouldn't have gone through these dark years. And maybe the what if of like, what if they really just like dug into not so perfect time storylines and dug into it, because I don't know, like the boundaries that Disney's pushing today are just like kind of annoying, but making the choice to keep Chief alive, I think we all just would have gone through it and it would have made the movie better. I don't think it hindered the movie at all.
So Disney expert Harrison,
you know me.
What is the first movie, if any, where somebody died?
Somebody
or
died?
Got killed.
The main character died.
I mean, up obviously his wife died at the very beginning, but like
I might have a list here. 1 second.
I know anecdotally, because it was before my time, that Transformers the movie was following after the hype of several seasons of the cartoon Transformers. And in Transformers the movie, Optimus Prime dies. And he like very gloriously dies and sacrifices and then goes out and like passes on the baton and stuff like that. And like kids were just like absolutely traumatized because you couldn't do that during a Saturday morning cartoon. So they put it in the movie, but it was like expectations were so subverted. So I wonder, and that was a very similar time period as when this movie came out, like 80s, right? Early 80s. So when did Disney do it?
Okay, you ready? The first main character who died in a Disney animated film is the Lion King. That's the big one. That's the first big
so like
one.
95?
Yep.
Let's see. Let me get
94.
94?
94, yeah.
So we were talking about blood.
15 years after this.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were talking about, because it shows the blood on the shoulder of the bear.
Yep.
The first Disney movie to show blood was Sleeping Beauty in 59. And then the next one was The Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's a huge gap of just like, let's make this squeaky clean. I mean, the themes aren't always squeaky clean, but the visual, yeah, there's not a lot of violence.
You know, it's funny talking about deaths because there was this era of TV shows like like for example, like Mighty Ducks, Gargoyles. I want to say like Dragonflies. There's a couple movies in there where the very first X-Men animated, the X-Men animated show, where they, oh, dude, it's the best. Anyways, there was this era where one of the characters would die in the first episode, like very, very consistently. And all those shows I just talked about, that happened in it, where someone died in the very first episode to kind of set the tone. But yeah, Lion King was the first one from Disney. And so, honestly, like I'll mention it again when we get to ratings, but I really think this movie would have been way better if Chief died. Like, I think it just would have just it just wrapped it up a lot more cleaner and would have sent a bigger message. And I think it would have made the ending just a little cleaner feeling. Like, because the thing is this, like, I feel like, so yeah, let's get into the ending of the film. Like, in the end, it's kind of like everyone's happy, but Todd can't come back. And I feel like that would make so much more sense if Chief was killed, because it's kind of like this really big event that kind of sets in Amos's mind, like, I can't have him around me. He's the reason one of my best friends got killed. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like it would just made more sense, because in my head, I'm like, wait, hold on. Why can't Todd go back? like I feel like everything got resolved, and like there was this really strong and incredibly powerful moment when Copper protects Todd from Amos. Like, I feel like that was a really big moment, and I feel like it kind of resolved it, but it didn't. You know, I don't know. It was really not confusing, but just like not satisfying.
Okay, so with the ending, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, it works. It's emotional. It tugs at something within us. And I'm like, okay, is the movie like, is it about like prejudice and like racism? But then I'm like, well, it's because of the animal's instincts.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of throws that off. So I'm like, well, what is the moral? Is it just like outside forces can rip you apart? Like, I don't understand. Like, I almost don't get it.
No, I get you. I spent a long time actually thinking about this afterwards. I have kind of an idea for a short I want to make that's a little different than what we normally do. And one thing I was kind of thinking about this film, I was like, I mean, like, it's kind of like a friendships come and go kind of a thing, where it's just like life circumstances can, not ruin friendships, but they can change your friendships. Like, if a friend moves away, like I have plenty of friends. I can actually think of three really good friends I had growing up, and I haven't seen them in forever. It's just because we moved away. Because
So, Harrison, this is really interesting, but I saw the flash of light in your camera, and I saw the flash of light out my window towards Oregon City.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Hey, you're in the middle of it.
But yeah, no, I feel like that's part of the message of this film, is like, friendships come and go, things change. You can appreciate them for what they were when you had them, but sometimes life comes in and just, life circumstances change things.
Okay, I think I just put it together. Because when we're younger, everyone cherishes friendships way more. Like, it's just like part of who you are, who your friends are, your social circle. And then in the beginning, like, think about like what Copper did. He's just like having fun, not thinking much of it, and then all of a sudden Todd kind of slips underneath his arm, and he's just like, we're gonna be friends forever, won't we? And he's like, yeah, forever. And they just kind of make this like agreement, but they haven't been friends long, and there's just this instilled expectation they're going to be friends forever, and Todd believes it, and I don't think Copper does. And then they both go through their own rites of passage, like their growing up phase. Todd basically he sees like the skins all collected in the little hut. He's getting all this advice and like caution from Big Mama, and then Copper's out there literally like killing pheasants and learning from his mentor Chief on how to become a hunter and do what he does best. And I forget where I was going with that, but it's all set on this expectation that they made when they were so young.
I get that. Well, I think it's also interesting. If you think about it, Copper went away and grew up a lot. Like, he really grew. He learned a lot of skills. He, was surrounded by other mentors around him and becoming who he is now. And Todd just kind of grew up in a nice, comfy living situation. And I think this is kind of weird, but I think it actually kind of goes along with the birds. There's that scene where they're like, all right, we're flying south for the winter. We don't like this place right now. And they leave and they come back. And that's kind of what Todd kind of does. He's like, yeah, I'm going to grow up, but I'm just going to go away for a while off screen. Then I'm going to come back. But Copper like goes through growing experiences throughout all that. And he he probably matured a lot more than Todd did.
I think something you said earlier in the podcast is pretty poignant, Harrison. I like what you said, that like it's complicated. It's not as simple. Like the world isn't really black and white, No. And it's like simultaneously those friendships can mean everything that they meant and can still mean, but sometimes it's fine. Like it's fine to let those people go if they don't fit in your life anymore, and that doesn't mean that they're bad or evil or you did something wrong per se. Like sure, those can all be elements, but sometimes it's just time for life to have more facets to it.
I wrote this down, but I think what the movie indirectly says and doesn't say is that you cherish the memories with the ones who you went through these life experiences with, but also you got to give people space and time. You got to give people space and time to let them, and respect to them, so they can grow separately from you, because you need to do exactly the same thing. And I don't know, I was talking about this with my wife, but like we've had friends in the past where like you're either best friends, you're talking all the time, you're always updating each other on what's new, what's going on, or you're nothing to each other. And there's people who like don't know how to like, hey man, it's been 2 months, how you been, what's new, cool. And like you're not like, haven't heard from you in a while. Like you respect people, you respect people's time, and you understand that people have lives of their own. I don't know where I'm going with that, but like I think that might be a lesson that Todd had to learn along the way.
I have a good handful of people I absolutely love from my past life that they're birthday friends.
Yeah.
Their birthday comes around, I shoot them a text, and we chat via text or sometimes jump on a call for like a couple of minutes, and stuff, and just catch up.
Long time no talk.
And it's like they're I mean, they were like absolutely formative best friends in high school, middle school, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just honestly, I just want to know that they're okay, or if something's wrong's going on, I want to know. Like that's about it, And if there's anything I can do, or they're like in town or whatever, like absolutely, I'd love to get together. But like you said, they've got their own lives and we've got ours, and we might not even have a whole lot to talk about anymore because we're not together all the time and we don't have the same friend group or whatever. And once again, that's not good or bad. And it's almost like, I feel like that's the bittersweet ending of this, is like Todd and Copper have different lives and they are still friends and they still love and respect each other and live their separate lives.
Man.
And it's like both are true at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I love the layers in the lessons you can learn from their situation, because you can go all the way up to, oh, this is like, a parallel to racism. Like, oh, I can't hang out with you because you're not white, or, things like that.
I can't hang out with my MAGA neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. And then it comes all the way down to like, hey, like life's just different now. Like we just, like I love you. Because honestly, like I feel like Todd and Copper, like, there's still that bond between them all the way up to the end. And sometimes it's just like, hey, just too many things have happened. Yeah. Look, I want to ask you, like, what were your feelings when Copper stood over Todd and kind of put himself between Amos and Todd?
Yeah.
So I wanna say we're literally watching that scene right now.
That's great.
I want to point out when Scott was talking about Chief getting hit by the train, as he said that, Chief got hit by the train. This is like in sync. This is like Pink Floyd and Wizard of Oz.
Shut up. Crazy. I'm thinking about this today.
I thought it was extremely effective. And just like he stares at him and then the slow whimper, he lowers the gun. And I think just Amos just loses his rage. Yeah, exactly. He's just
like
okay.
moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very like, hey, like just the voice inside of Copper's head, if you could talk to him, just I feel like it was something very much lines along like, we can't keep doing this. Like, we have to let this go. We have to move on. We can't have this revenge in us. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was, I don't know. It didn't come off very like, hey, he saved us, therefore we should spare his life. It felt more emotional. It felt more like
this isn't right.
Like, this isn't right. We can't keep going on like this. Like, we're hitting a point where we're breaking into a nature preserve and we're trying to kill animals, like it's just.
So, okay. So I think that this is probably the distinction between like why Quantum Cowboys was so hard for me is like this scene in Fox and the Hound, like that one scene made the whole movie okay. Like everything was like this build up for that one scene, for him to stand over Todd and protect him, and for Amos to just lose his rage and simmer down and walk away. And it was like such a I don't know, it was such a moral move, like what a moral thing for him to do right there. And Quantum Cowboys, it was like I was so ready for there to be something like that, and for them to be like, none of it really matters. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why did you make me watch all of that stuff that was interesting then?
Yeah, you wanted the decision that a moment where it's like, oh, their character is changing, like because of who they are, because they're growing. Yeah,
for me to walk away and be like, bro, like you wrapped. Oh my gosh, like that was a thing, and it did a thing to me, but I didn't feel that.
like you actually saw. Like for this movie, it's like you actually saw Amos grow right then. You saw him physically change his stature, the energy, the vibe he had into realizing what he's doing and what he is doing and what he needs to do to be better.
Tell me what you guys think of this, because this period in my life with young kids, and I'm assuming you guys feel very similar with young kids and the situation with families and stuff like that. Like, there is not a single easy day ever. Like, I have not had an easy day since having kids, and it's all been worth it and all that jazz. But like,
that's where we differ. No, I'm just kidding.
The number.
Remember, Scott, you just need to wake up and say, "Hey, I'm not going to suffer today."
The number of times that I've gone to bed and been like, well, another day happened, and holy crap, like, is this all worth it? And then you go to bed and you sleep it off and you wake up and you got energy the next day and just tackle it again. But like, I feel like the number of times that I feel just truly humbled at the end of a day, or like, man, I just effed up so bad, or how I treated my family or the people I love, or whatever the case is, like I just lost my cool or whatever the case is. And then you're like, all right, what am I gonna do about that moving forward? Because I can't change the past. This wasn't a time travel movie. And I absolutely agree with what you said, Harrison, that like you saw Amos change, and Amos wasn't the character you were expecting to see change. Like Copper and Todd, they like had things happen to them and they grew and all that kind of stuff. But at the end, it was like they hadn't changed, and that's why Copper saved Todd. But Amos grew.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, so I think it's important that Amos is the one who changes, because this whole film and their friendship, like, I'm not going to say the right word, but I feel like their friendship is not ruined, but it's changed because of Amos's influence on it. He's the one kind of being like, no, we have to get Todd. Like, like he's the one putting the influence on their friendship and changing it from what it is, going from this pure innocent two good friends spending time together to, hey, you can't be around him, we actually need to hunt and kill him. Not just like avoid being around him. It's like, no, we actively need to go after him.
We need to kill this person.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's hard watching this. Sometimes it's tough to translate it into humans, the thought process of like, hey, my kid's hanging out with this other kid. Well, you can't do that. Also, we need to kill him. Like, it's so foreign. It's so foreign to us. It's such a foreign thought. Like, what? That doesn't actually happen. Sadly, it probably has happened in the future.
As I'm looking at the thumbnail for the Northman, I would disagree.
Yeah, what? What's up with that? Let's see. I just had a couple little notes to go over. Just some quotes. Rubbish, poppycock. I liked hearing that.
Dag nabbit.
Oh, raspberries. That one tickled me for some reason. I thought that was really funny. He's like, oh, raspberries.
I genuinely laughed how many times he called her woman or widow.
Yeah.
I was like,
yes.
Oh my gosh.
I know. That was the other one I was looking
crotchety
for.
old man neighbor. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so true.
I love the part where Amos is singing the bear trap. And he's like so satisfied with himself. He's just like, the devil himself couldn't have done any better. And there's like barely any leaves on the bear trap side. And then he has a really good line. Let me find it. He's like, he'll be coming through here for some water, but he won't be drinking any. It sounded like,
dun, dun.
Yeah, it was just like,
and then it fades out.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, pretty cool.
He's got a handful of those moments where he just says something, then he freezes. I liked. Another scene that lowercase c traumatized me as a kid was the first scene where Todd and Vixie are running away, and Todd's like, head to the river or whatever he says, and then he jumps, and there's that growling scene between Todd and Copper, and seeing Todd's
I'm
face.
glad you brought this up. Yep.
That was like, whoa, like, because you don't see that from him.
Yeah.
And like then when like Copper's like digging into the foxhole trying to get at him, like just scary as hell. Like
claustrophobic. That scene made me feel weird when I was a kid. But yeah, so the animal faces when they're growling at each other, I think I remember like being young enough and I was just like, I don't even know who to root for anymore. Like they go like reptilian.
Well, and they're like simultaneously throughout the whole movie, they're both the good guys.
Yeah.
And then in that scene, they're both like animals.
Yeah, it's true, because the thing is, like, I feel like I don't know, at least for me, I wasn't watching the film and rooting for anybody, or I wasn't watching, or not being like, oh, Copper's bad, like he's doing a bad thing.
Who is the villain? Was it Amos? Was Amos the bad guy in this movie?
It's not Copper.
Or was it the bear?
So,
yeah.
It can't be the bear.
Comes in so late.
Yeah.
I guess it has to be Amos, but sometimes even then, it's really as soon as he goes into the nature preserve, that's the moment that it's like, oh,
you're a bad guy.
Yeah, this is bad. This is not
actually
okay.
The villain is Mrs. Tweed, because she took Todd's development from him and stunned him. He almost didn't even survive his first day in the forest.
So helicopter parents are bad.
Yes, that's it.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yep.
What was the other scene that I really loved was the bear scene, actually, because
that's awesome.
They did such a good job of instilling panic. There was so much chaotic things going on in that scene. I feel like the animation was just faster. Like, I don't know, like like when Amos gets his leg stuck in the bear trap, he is like desperately trying to get at it. And I don't know, like I said, I feel like they almost like bumped up the frame rate on it or something. Like they made it a lot more movement was occurring in that moment, and there was a lot more tension because of that.
So Paige has this, I feel, unnecessary fear of bears. She's never seen a bear, but she's like genuinely afraid of bears attacking us. And like, she's like, oh, we can't move there. There's bears. And I'm like, there are bears here. And she's like, yeah, that's why we can't go camping. And I'm like, Paige, you can't like not go somewhere because you think there might be bears. And so while we were watching this movie, she walked in and she's like, oh yeah, this is the reason I'm scared of bears.
There you
it's
go.
right there.
She has like recurring dreams about bears attacking her and our family.
The bear is terrifying. It has red eyes. It's the scariest animal in the movie.
Pretty much.
She also doesn't like rats. Maybe it's just the dark age of Disney movies that gave her all of her phobias.
There you
That's
go.
probably from an American Tale.
Oh, probably.
The rat fear came from that.
Also, for some reason, Copper reminded me of Knox. Like when he that first scene, like when you first meet Copper, I was like, that's Knox. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's like his eyes or something.
He loves it. It's the orange. It's the orange hair, dude.
That's what it is.
No, my son legitimately like identifies with the fox animal. Like he loves foxes, and it was fun watching it with them. But my son in particular, like he hated the love scenes. He was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And he like ran out of the door. It was really funny. He just got so uncomfortable with the love scenes. It was really funny.
That's great.
Well, let's go over slimy scenes and ratings soon. Go ahead. I cut you off.
Yeah, so I would say the heaviest scene for me was when Copper gets back to home from hunting, and Todd is like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see Copper," and then he sneaks over there, and they're talking, and Copper's basically like, "No, we can't hang out anymore. I'm a hunting dog now." And me as a kid, like just hearing that was like, "Wait, what?" Like how could something like that, what could happen in my life that would cause me to not be able to be with my friends? And I just couldn't think of anything. And so that scene really hits. Like that scene really hit me hard.
Yeah, Todd's jaw drop when he like is faced with that. That part's
Yeah,
part's
oh, I
cool.
guess you can't see my face right now, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the scene that hit me. In terms of like rating the film, I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5, which means it's above average. I think this film would have been a 4 to a 4.5 if Chief died. Like I
Yeah,
really think it
totally.
has
I
that
agree with that.
much. I think it has that much of an impact on the film that he wasn't killed, because
Yep.
it would just wrap up the movie so much better. It would help the ending of Todd not being able to come back home just feel and make more sense to me. I mean, it's just, if you think about it, it's kind of sad. It's like, hey, all this happened. Oh, by the way, Grandma Tweed, you don't get your fox back. That was your comfort and your only like living thing you took care of. Like the thing that, the person that really meant something to you. They can't come back. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5, but I love the movie.
I think I'm gonna go make a fan edit of this movie and keep it in my collection. I think I'm just gonna retcon Chief dead.
Yeah.
There
Honestly,
you go.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Before his eye flickers, just cut that out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really easy. Just take out every scene, every Jar Jar scene with him afterwards. Although my slimiest scene, favorite line in the whole movie is Chief coming out trying to get sympathy. And Amos going,
oh my gosh.
Chief, get back in there, I'll break your other leg. I was like, oh my gosh, that is the funniest thing. And he's like, back in.
Yeah.
So funniest scene in the whole movie for me right there. But I'd take that out and I'd put it back in my Plex collection with Chief dying. And then I'll show it to Hawkins when he's a little older and see if he's appropriately impacted by that.
Yeah.
I'm going to rate this probably a 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
For the exact same reasons. I loved it. I think it was beautiful. I think it was way sweeter than I remembered. I also kind of just like the fact that it's like an amateur movie trying to punch above its weight. I like the story of that. I don't know. I feel like this is more art, like genuinely says something deeper than a lot of other Disney movies and movies in general. I think its message and its meaning, even though it's not anything related to the source material, like they managed to create something special, and it's like B+ material making something special.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I think one big feeling that I walk away with after I watched this was just like, dude, like they took some swings, but they also pulled some punches. And I'm just always thinking about dude, what if they did that? How much better would it have been? Don Bluth would have stayed around, just the butterfly effect of all of it. But yeah, like I always thought of this movie as like a classic Disney movie. And I guess it's just kind of not in some people's eyes, but I think it's awesome. Right in line with you guys. It's a 3.5. Could be a 4.5 easily with that one choice. But there are numerous, like more magic scenes in this movie that I can't really tell if they're like excellent or if it's my nostalgia mixed in with it. But just tearjerker, like emotional scenes. And it's a quality film. But yeah, 3.5 across the board. I think we all agree on that rating. Just real quick too, because we were talking about lowercase trauma, but like there's this subgenre of movies, and I want to know which of these you guys have seen. So animal trauma films. Okay, there's a list of them. So 1, Fox and the Hound. 2, Watership Down. Do you guys know what this is?
Yeah.
I know what it is, but I haven't seen it, and I kind of don't want to watch it.
Yeah, same. I've seen clips. I'm like, dude, this is dark.
Yeah.
Okay. So now there's Bambi, of course, Lion King, Land Before Time, Charlotte's Web, underrated, or as far as animal trauma goes.
That's a sad, good story.
Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh man,
I haven't seen it.
Have you guys seen Shiloh?
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, I've seen Shiloh.
Man, you are digging up.
Yeah, Shiloh.
Memories, man.
Dude, Shiloh. That was like one of the first movies I had admitted to another buddy, or my cousin Calvin, that I cried. And he was like, me too. I was like, yes, perfect. I'm not as cool as I was about to let you know. And then My Dog Skip. I think I mentioned this on a past podcast. But
I've never seen My Dog Skip.
Yeah, it's animal trauma. Yeah, it's just a funny little subgenre of film that we're diving into.
There could be a whole theme of that. We'll just cry all the time.
Yeah.
What's the one with the golden retriever that gets shot because he has rabies?
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Yeah. I hadn't seen that. I didn't put it on my list, but yeah, I haven't seen that one.
By the way, those animal trauma movies, that reminds me, there's a website out there called doesthedogdie.com. And literally, it's just movies. And if there's a dog involved, you click on it and it'll tell you if the dog died or not.
Oh, no.
John Wick. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sad day.
Do you remember that scene in was it Homeward Bound where the dog gets literally like stabbed in the face with a porcupine? And they used a real porcupine and did that to the dog.
Did they?
I mean, they must have. I don't know how they filmed that. I'll look it up. I'm speaking out of turn, but now I want to watch that movie, or at least see that scene.
I mean, I just love that movie because it's got Waklella Falls in it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yes, that's awesome.
Impressive.
Any last thoughts on Fox and the Hound?
I love it. I think everyone should watch it. What was it? I couldn't get my kid to watch. I couldn't get Jamie to watch it, but I'm gonna go give it another shot because I feel like, bro, like, come on, just
it's the lessons. Just learn the lessons from it.
Just learn the lessons,
whatever they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
But yeah, no, happy to watch it. I recommend it, and I hope it's one of those movies that I'm like, please don't forget it. I know there's a lot of great Disney movies out there, and there's no princess in this one, but it's so good. Don't forget it.
Good.
Yeah.
I think my closing thought is, Harrison, I'm going to continue to make fun of having a very untraumatic childhood in comparison to my dark childhood.
Yeah.
But I'm glad this was on the list. I'm glad we watched it. And this is our first animation, and it was worth it.
Yeah, it was fun.
100%.
Just a reminder to have your movie categories ready for our next recording.
I already got my 2, I think.
You already ready? All right, cool.
Yeah, I think I got my 2, and I'm pretty excited for them.
Cool. And then next week, stay tuned. We're going to do Return to Oz, and I'm excited to revisit this. Haven't watched it yet. I'm doing it one by one.
I'm ready to crawl under my blanket and just like get out of my skin. Like it's gonna be good.
Spoiler alert: the trauma lowercase t holds up.
Yeah.
I just watched it last night, and I was like, this scene is one of the most terrifying scenes in cinematic history.
You watch it with the kids?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah. I was gonna say, it's a little too much.
I was watching bits and pieces. Well, I'll talk about it next time. I was watching bits and pieces with Hawkins, but he wasn't feeling well, and I paused it and then went somewhere else, and then I picked it up later, and it was like the next scene was that traumatic scene, and I was like, that would have messed him up.
Bullet dodged. Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
All right. Have a good night. That was a great episode. Talk to you soon. See you in the morning.
Loves. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Adios.
Love you guys. Bye.
That's a wrap on another episode of Cinema Slime. We hope you enjoyed it. This episode was a production by your hosts, Harrison Jensen, Ren Jensen, and Scott Shepard. Harrison handles the mixing, editing, and production, and Ren, that's me, takes care of the art and design. Want to join the conversation? Let's connect. Find us on Discord for film discussions, movie recommendations, and everything cinema. Be sure to subscribe and leave a comment, and you can also connect with us on social media and show your support on Buy Me a Coffee, and we'll give you a shout out if you'd like. All links can be found in the episode notes.